New house was waiting for us. I was bored of that old and boring one. It was time to go, and I called the children and we got in the car. 4 hours later, we arrived, so I woke up the kids and I told them that we have already arrived. I ordered them to go and organize their rooms. Meanwhile, I went to supervise the old furniture. Employees were taking everything out to make some space for our new things. I started looking around. There were lots of old stuff. A particular closet called a lot my attention. It was red, really big, and it had some flower designs. It looked dirty and rusty. Some minutes later, after I analyzed it completely, I wanted to know how it was inside. So I started with one of the drawers. I thought it was going to be empty, but surprisingly, it was not. There were 4 rectals. They were white and with no face. 3 of them were men and the other was a woman. They were actually really clean according to the time they have been there. The spooky thing about this whole thing of the rectals was that it was literally my family. Well, maybe it was a big coincidence. Probably the last owners forgot them, so I took them to my room and let them on top of my bed. I went to the kitchen to cook some snacks for everyone and finish the day. More or less 3 hours later, we all went to the bed. When I arrived to my room, the rectals weren't there. First, I got scared about what might happen to the dolls. But then I realized that maybe one of the employees took the dolls from my bed and placed them on the closet again. So I went to sleep as if nothing had happened. Really early in the morning, I woke up to prepare the breakfast. Slowly, I stretched myself, and when I looked to my nightstand, I saw the ragdolls again. My heart started throbbing very fast. Then I began hyperventilating, and finally I screamed. I didn't know what to do. No one had come into my room in the night. I was sure, because I always locked the room. The most scary thing was that one of the dolls was red. I was really confused, so I called my older son, Kevin. He came really fast. When he entered to my room and saw the ragdoll, he was petrified. I remember perfectly the face he did when he saw them. He told me that he knew an old story about ragdolls. The story was that long time ago, there was a witch that hated a family that lived near to her. Her hate was that big that the myth says that she made a spell over 4 ragdolls. First, the dolls were nice and white. While time passed, the dolls changed their color into red, one per one. This means something horrible is going to happen to a person that the doll represents until the whole family dies. I didn't want it to believe in this story, but it was happening to us. I told Kevin that we have to burn those dolls just for caution. When we tried to burn them, nothing happened. They were perfectly perfect. I didn't know what to do, but it was time to go to sleep, so I prayed God that hopefully it was just a myth and nothing else. Today, I have had the most horrible experience in my whole life. Let me explain. I woke up Kevin and Jack for school. Kevin did wake up easily, but when I went to Jack's room, he was on the floor. I asked him why was he in the floor, but he didn't answer to me. I asked again, but he was still quiet. Then I touched his shoulder to see what was happening, but he was not responding. I pulled him back so I could see at least his face, but when I turned his face around, I saw something that made me faint. Then I remember that Kevin woke me up because it was really late for school, and we saw again Jack. I didn't know what to do. I asked Kevin if he was saying the same as me. He didn't answer anything because of the petrification he felt in that moment. Some minutes later, both of us finally react. Jack had no face. That horrible image is never going to get out of my head. No eyes, no nose, no mouth, no nothing. He was 100% burned up. I started realizing that he looked like the ragdoll that represents him. He was red because of the blood, and he had no face or hair. I called an ambulance so they'd take him to the hospital. When we arrived, they told us that it was already too late. Jack was dead. I started crying and Kevin too. Now we have to start being more cautious. My family is gone. I'm the only survivor of this catastrophe. My husband died in a car accident, and Kevin disappeared for 2 weeks. Then I found him beheaded in his room. I moved from that house and let the dolls in the drawer I found them. I hope anyone else finds those ragdolls again.